Hey everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and in today's video I'm going to show you the things that I keep in my pantry to help me with my ADHD. Maybe you have ADHD, maybe you don't, but one symptom of ADHD is like executive dysfunction, and that is when it is really hard to take all the things that you need to do and like prioritize them, put them all together like into a to-do list, and then execute it. For example, emptying the dishwasher. For me, it seems like, one simple task, you just do it and it's done. But for me, you have to put away all the silverware in their particular drawers. I have to put all the bowls away and then the plates, and then I have to organize and stack all of my food storage containers and then put those away. So I think of all the tiny little steps that are involved with it, and then by that time, I'm just too overwhelmed to do it. So that is one symptom that totally overwhelms me. So one thing I try to do is to keep my kitchen and pantry stocked with things that will help when my brain is just too dead to think. Today I'm showing you the things that I keep in my pantry, and I also use this as an excuse to go through my entire pantry, pull out the things that we didn't use or that went bad, and then reorganize and inventory it. So thank you for the inspiration. A lot of these foods can be easily made, and I can show like substitutions and stuff along the way. But these are things that help me. It's not an all-inclusive list, but hopefully it can give you a few ideas. And stick to the end, because I'm going to be talking about different ways that meal planning can help when you have ADHD. So let's get into the list. Let's see what's in my pantry. So let's take a look in the pantry right now and see what I have. Now this pantry was not originally built with the house. Like the previous owners actually built this into it and built it deeper. So they took out part of the closet, which is in Allison's room, and made a deep pantry. So I don't really like the fact that it's really deep, because I don't know what's back there. Everything gets lost. It's scary reaching back there because you don't know what's gonna pop out at you. We've dealt with like those moths in the past, so it is a little bit creepy. But yeah, as you can see, there is like no organization whatsoever. There is a lot of stuff back there that I haven't touched in quite a while, so this gives me the perfect opportunity to clean all of it out and then be able to show you what all I have in there. So one of the things I like to keep is easy to make grains. This includes like rice and quinoa and any other grains as well. So as you can see, I've got a lot of different types. So I've got some regular white rice. I have jasmine rice in here, and as you can tell, I don't change the labels on these, although I should. So I've got the jasmine rice. I also have some brown rice, and you don't have to keep all three of those. I think I'm gonna try to get rid of the jasmine rice and just keep white and brown rice. And then I have some couscous, which I know is technically a pasta, but I'm counting it as a grain like right now. And then I have farro and quinoa. Now, I use my rice cooker to make a lot of these because it just saves me a bunch of time. So if you have a rice cooker, I highly recommend it. Also, if you just want to save a lot of time, you can also buy those ready to cook like microwave packets of rice and quinoa. It is a little bit more expensive per ounce, but it does tend to help you if you're low on time. And I like these food storage containers because they're easy to stack. Like you don't have to have those bags laying around and making messes if they accidentally open up. They also keep the bugs out. Like I said, I had like food moths or whatever you call them. So these help to keep the bugs out, and they're pretty easy. Like when they're empty, you just refill it. It's super simple. As you saw, my whole pantry was pretty full of them. Next up, we have peanut butter. I always try to keep at least 1 or 2 jars of peanut butter in my pantry at all times because you can use it in so many things. Allison loves it in her oatmeal. I like making energy bites with them. Now, I typically buy the all natural, which just has peanuts and salt, just because I prefer it. And I like the Kroger brand because it's a whole lot cheaper. And if you store the natural peanut butter upside down, it helps to keep everything like the oil all stirred together. I also like keeping like the little to-go cups because I like using them to dip like the apple slices and bananas and other things. I think I've also used like carrot sticks too, but I like to have these in my pantry too. Next up is pasta. I didn't realize how much pasta I had until I pulled everything out. Honestly, I'm gonna get rid of a lot of these. I really only need like maybe four types of pasta. But in here I have orzo, which is one of the ones I'm going to get rid of soon because I barely use it. I also have the rotini, I have spaghetti, I have shells, and then I also have like penne and then elbow macaroni. There's also those really large ones down there. I don't even know what you call them, but I'm gonna get rid of those as well. But pasta is really easy to cook. You boil it in the water and it's done in a few minutes. You can also buy microwave pasta if you just want like a single serving and you don't want to wait all that time. The microwave ones are good too. So I am thankful that you guys are helping me to empty this pantry. It gives me a good opportunity to wipe everything down as well. It's not something I do very often, unfortunately. But looking over here, this is my life at the moment with all of the stuff outside of the pantry. My kitchen is really small, not a lot of counter space, so it was crazy. Next up, we have sauces. I like to keep all sorts of different kinds of like sauces, marinades, all that other good stuff. Definitely honey. I use that a lot in my energy bites and breakfast ideas and things. I also keep some jars of pasta sauce. So Alfredo and then regular marinara sauce. I will also sometimes keep some pizza sauce in there too. And then definitely salsa. Definitely the hot for us. We are huge spicy fans. And then things like taco sauce, soy sauce, any other kind of like salad dressings, marinades, those are all good. You can throw them together for a quick and easy meal. Next, we have canned soup. Now, I never used to keep canned soup in my pantry, but just recently I started, and oh my gosh, this is amazing for quick lunch ideas. My tip is to wait until they're on sale. I bought these at Kroger, and they were part of their buy 5 and save $5 event, so they were only 99 cents. And they're usually like $2.50, $3, so wait until they're on sale and buy a lot of them. Like I'll eat this with a sandwich, I'll eat it with a salad or something. It has definitely saved my life when we don't have enough leftovers to make like a lunch or a dinner. Now going on to the canned goods. Now, canned vegetables can be just as nutritious as fresh. Some of them may have some extra sodium in it, but that doesn't make them bad or anything. They are especially helpful because they're a lot cheaper at times. So some of the things that I keep in my pantry are olives. That jar down there I was supposed to use for a salad. I don't usually keep those, but I also sometimes keep cans of fruit as well. So the little mandarin orange cups there. Pineapple chunks, I try to buy the fruit that is in 100% juice, just because I think it tastes better that way. Canned beans are another one, and as you can see, I don't keep track of how many cans I have in there. I had 4 cans of kidney beans and 4 cans of black beans. I will definitely be changing that. I have a can of white beans in there, but things like chickpeas and like lentils, other kinds of beans that you like, definitely keep those in the pantry. I also like keeping tomatoes, diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, all that good stuff. Canned meat, like tuna and chicken, those are also really good ideas. Canned mushrooms, I like to put those in Alfredo pasta. And then for me, I have to keep a can of pumpkin because I am about all things pumpkin. So speaking of beans and keeping too many, like I have a huge container of dried black beans too during the days when I thought it was great to cook them all in the Instant Pot. I gotta get rid of those too. So the next thing on my list is snacks. Now this is very individualized. You guys may not like the bagged snacks and things, but this really helps us. We keep a lot of snack bars just because they're really easy. They're portable. You can find some healthy brands. I mean, Bar is one of our favorites. They have just a few ingredients. They're super delicious. We like the Kind bars. We also like buying individual bags of snacks, just as you can see. Yes, they are a little bit more expensive per ounce, but it's worth it for us. If you want to buy a big bag and bag them all yourself, feel free to do that. But this kind of helps Allison too, because she can just reach into the pantry and grab something. And of course, we also do keep treats. We have fruit snacks, a little bit of candy. There is nothing wrong with candy and treats, so we keep a little bit in there as well. We can just grab 1 or 2 a day if we want it. And now I'm going to move on to the refrigerated section. We definitely have items that we keep in there at all times. The first one is string cheese. Now I got this one at Sam's Club. This is the big 48 pack, and it's a lot cheaper there actually. But we like string cheese because it is super portable. I stick one in Allison's lunchbox just about every day. They're really quick snacks. They are high in protein and fat, so cheese is a really good snack. Also, yogurt. We like Greek yogurt just because it has a little bit more protein, and there are many different types of yogurt. So you've got the Chobani. This one is like the fruit on the bottom. Most of these have between 100 and 150 calories, good amount of protein, maybe some sugar in it. These ones right here are the Oikos 000. These have 15 grams of protein and 0 added sugars. They're pretty good. I usually eat them with some granola and some kind of a fruit, maybe like frozen blueberries or diced apples or something. But yogurt, we actually eat it probably every day, once a day or so. And then Go-Gurt is also a good, fun, portable snack. Allison eats these every day, so these are fun, nice little lunchbox additions or snacks. And then we'll move on to like individual cups of guacamole and hummus. Those are good sources of healthy fats, and you can dip like carrot sticks, other vegetables, maybe even like pita chips in them, tortilla chips. Those are really good snacks to have on hand. And when I buy the big packages, I find that it goes bad, so I like having them individually. And then we've got some fruit. So I like applesauce. I use it a lot in baking, and sometimes I will put it in like a small container just to have as a side item. I like the unsweetened just because I think the applesauce is already pretty sweet as it is. You can also buy the little packets of the applesauce pouches. Those are pretty fun if your kids enjoy them. Of course, they are a little bit more expensive per ounce, but if you can afford it, I say go for it. And then lastly, cottage cheese. So I buy the big containers here. You could also buy the individual ones. They also have like the fruit on the bottom. And if you like that, that's awesome. Cottage cheese is super high in protein. I like to actually add everything bagel seasoning on top of mine just to make it a little bit more savory. So that's all the things I like to keep in my pantry. Now that I have taken everything out and looked at it, I am making an inventory of things that I want to keep in the pantry at all times. Not necessarily like what is exactly in there, but like I want to keep like 2 cans of beans, 2 cans of diced tomatoes. That's what this is for, and I will be talking about that in a future video too. But now that I'm finished with that, I am left with a huge mess in the kitchen, and I knew that if I sat down, I would not finish this. So I geared myself up and I put everything away, and thankfully it all fit much better than it did when I first started. Again, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is just things that help me in particular, and there's probably a lot of different things that you can keep or that you do keep that help you and your overwhelm as well. So how does meal planning help when you have ADHD? First of all, it keeps you from going out to eat as often because you have ready-made foods here. Now, there's no problem with going out to eat. Maybe you're just so burned out that you just can't even deal, and that's totally fine. But I have noticed that it's helped me to have something really quick to put together when I just don't feel like cooking. Next, it helps you with a well-balanced diet. So, canned vegetables, frozen vegetables, those are still just as nutritious as fresh. And they're super easy to cook as well, so you can have a quick side item in just a couple of minutes. Next, meal planning definitely takes away the overwhelm. Now, I know meal planning can be overwhelming, but if you get a system in place, it'll eventually turn into a habit that you just kind of do on autopilot every single week. I'm not saying it gets super easy. You're not going to be perfect at it. I'm not either, but having a plan can definitely help. And lastly, meal planning actually helps me cook less, aka leftover nights. because there's just 3 of us at home, and if I can make a big dinner, we can easily have those for lunch either the next day, like for lunch, or we can have them for dinner as well. So maybe I'll cook like 3 or 4 dinners a week, but the other 3 nights we're just eating the leftovers that I made before. I actually have a full list of all these pantry staples in a blog post I wrote, and you can find that in the link in the description below. So leave me a comment and tell me, what kind of pantry staples do you like to keep in your house that helps you save time and money? As always, make sure you subscribe, like this video, ring that bell so you'll be notified when all my other videos come out. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later.